Hi, Julia. Thanks so much for virtually meeting with me today. I really appreciate it. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. I've been pretty busy with schoolwork lately. I can't believe we're already in the seventh week of the semester. What grade are you in and what are you studying?
I'm a sophomore studying marketing.
Okay, cool. I'm a sophomore too. I really appreciate your time, so I promise not to make this interview too long. As I mentioned prior to the meeting, I'm a reporter for the Post and I've been assigned to do a story on the impact of COVID-19 for learning at the college age level. I'm excited to gather in depth information regarding your experience with online learning and possibly learn some ideas for future improvement. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the questions. My first one for you is tell me some of the positive ideas that you think there are to college age students learning online.
I think online learning adds a lot of flexibility to your schedule and it allows you to learn at your own pace,
Mhm.
which can then lead to better time management and it also increases your technical skills.
Yeah, I think time management's like a huge part of with online learning and just like knowing how to adjust like with it to yourself. My next one then is what are some negative aspects to it, do you think?
I think some negative aspects are there's a lack of motivation. You have to get yourself to get on for class and do your homework, which also leads to double workload, I think. And there's also just lack of communication skills and social interactions.
Yeah, I think procrastinating is like a big thing for college students. So like not being motivated by a professor like in person can be hard to like get up and get all your work done instead of just getting it done on time. And then do you feel that students are getting the same education online than they would in person?
I think a lot of people have a harder time getting a better understanding of the curriculum online.
Mhm.
It's just a lot of self learning and getting yourself to be able to manage your time better. So I think people would definitely get a better experience in person.
For sure, I agree with that too. Okay, so now that I've been able to discover your personal opinion with the idea of online learning, I'd like to hear about how it has impacted your own and others' mental health. So, the first question I have regarding that is tell me about some of the conversations you have had with your peers regarding online learning and the impacts COVID-19 has had on them.
All my friends that I've talked to have said the same thing. We all agree that we think that we would prefer being in person just because it's added a lot of stress and it's harder to manage our time with balancing learning the material and also getting the work done on time. So I've heard a lot of the same things.
No, yeah, I definitely talk to my friends too. It's just like such a different environment, and everyone would definitely prefer being in person with everyone. So, then that leads into the next one. How has it personally affected your own mental health?
I think it's just added a lot more stress because I find myself having to teach myself and then get everything done. So it's definitely a lot more overwhelming, and I've definitely had to change my routine more.
No, yeah, I agree with that too. I've definitely had to adjust and like figure out how it works for myself and like kind of just adjust to that. And then the last one for that part is the workload greater or smaller compared to when we were able to have classes in person?
I think it's greater just because it's harder to learn. So I have to go through the notes and teach myself the material first before doing the homework. Whereas if I was in class, I feel like I learned better and just could go home and do my homework for the night. And now I have to do both in the same day.
For sure. Yeah, I agree with that too. Okay, so I appreciate you talking about the involvement and importance of mental health during this time. I'm going to shift now and talk about some possible ideas for improvement and strategies that you follow in order to stay free of stress and stay organized. Okay, so the first one is tell me about some strategies and routines that you follow with online learning to reduce stress or anxiety.
I think using a planner has helped me a lot because I can keep track of all my assignments and when they're due. And also just staying in touch with my classmates and professors to help me if I ever have any questions and stay on track.
Yeah, that's good. And then my last one is if you were the president of a high university, what would be a piece of advice that you would provide for the staff and students during this difficult time?
I think I would say to just find things that help you stay organized and stay on top of your tasks, and just to remember to take time for yourself because everyone's going through the same situation and we're all in this together.
Yeah, I agree. I think like learning to reward yourself for like all the work you're doing and like not just sitting in your room all day, like staring at computer is like really important and just kind of like making sure you're doing other things to keep your mind going. Okay, great. So that's some good advice. I really appreciate you taking time today, answering my questions and providing your feedback. Talking about COVID-19 and the drastic effects it has had on our lives, specifically our education, can be frustrating and hard to talk about sometimes. So I appreciate that. If you'd like to see the story that I will create with your comments, let me know and I'll send you a copy. But that's all I had for you today. Do you have any extra questions for me?
I think that's it.
Okay, thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too.